Okay, following up on my previous rant, I'm going to focus on the abortion issue. Now, Republicans, the conservatives especially, have this righteous attitude. They're against abortion, especially the late-term abortions. But they're not doing anything about it. They don't do anything about it. They just have this whole idea that defunding Planned Parenthood, it's just political. They're not really dealing with the issue of late-term abortions. They're just playing politics. They're just playing politics with the fetus. If you want to get rid of late-term abortions, you pass a law. 20-week limit, final, permanent. A permanent 20-week limit so we can stop, just get past this stupid debate. Stupid political infighting using the fetus as a football. I mean, if you're really serious about getting rid of late-term abortions, what do? You're a legislator, you make a law. Now, the whole idea that any abortion should be illegal, abortion just should be illegal, period. That kind of stance. It's not realistic. You have to be real. You have to take a realistic view of things. This whole idea of that the conservatives, the evangelicals like to throw at us is that the embryo, when the conception is the start of a new life. That's when God breathes a soul into that embryo. The funny thing is, you just can't pick this moment, this isolated moment. You just can't arbitrarily pick that and say, yes, that's when God comes into the picture and creates this human with a soul. Now, if God created us and God designed our reproductive process, the whole reproductive system, humans, then he's involved in the whole thing. He's involved in the whole process. It's not just suddenly, there's look, the sperm went into the egg. Okay. Suddenly wakes him up. So God's involved in the whole process. So the process begins when? Well, every month, a woman of childbearing years, an egg cell comes into place. God puts that egg cell there. If it's God's systems, God's design, he puts that egg cell there for what purpose? Puts that egg cell there for what intention? Just not there. If you say God is this is God's reproductive process that he designed, then we shouldn't interfere with it. I mean, if you're really a believer, you really believe in God and God's design, you should not interfere at any point with the reproductive process that he designed, that God designed. So, but we do. We do. We interfere. Everyone does. Even conservatives. We don't just leave it up to God to decide about when to get pregnant. We don't leave it up to God. We choose. We choose when or when not to be pregnant. And that's really the start of a life. The start of a new life is the choice to have a child. To choose to have a child. That's how we do it. That's how it's done. That's how everyone does it. We choose it. We don't just leave it up to God or chance. You know? So, yeah, we do interfere with that reproductive process right from the get-go. And a choice to be pregnant or not to be pregnant is a choice. It's a real choice. And if you find yourself inadvertently pregnant, then you can decide, you can still make that decision whether to be pregnant or not to be pregnant. It's the same choice. It's the same decision, really. Interfering with the process of reproduction. Interfering with the development of a new life. The development of a new life begins when the egg cell is in place to be fertilized. And we make the choice whether or not to go ahead with that. That's the reason we have sex all the time. That's the reason why we're so sexual all the time. Is God designed that too, so we're very sexy. We like to have sex. We have sex all the time because why? Because we want to make sure that there's sperm in the chamber there to fertilize the egg. That's how we do it. So there's no place for this kind of, people who say when God gets involved with something like this, like, they don't know. If God is involved in it, he's involved in the whole thing. It seems kind of silly to have to point that out. It's kind of silly. But you don't hear anything about that. You don't hear anything about. You just hear about the embryo. Most embryos, are a high percentage of embryos, are spontaneously aborted. Is that God's thing? Is God like an abortionist? So anyway, it's all about choice. That's the reality of it. The reproductive process is our choice. And it's choosing to have a child. That's when a new life begins, with that choice. If that choice is not made, then there really is no life. There's no new life. That's the choice. It's all about choice. So, we really got to get past this. This is just an ongoing thing. It's a big, going nowhere. It's just going nowhere. It's the same old argument back and forth. It never gets anywhere. Why? Because it's all political. Let's get beyond that political thing. Look at the reality of it. And make a law for 20-week limit.